everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing 4 lazy vegan meal ideas which are both quick and easy to put together. The first recipe is for the Sesame Miso Roasted Mushrooms and rice. For this, first preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Next, trim 400 grams of mushrooms and add those to a lightly oiled large baking dish along with 2 tablespoons of miso paste. Using your hands, gently massage the miso paste over the mushrooms, making sure that each one is coated well. Next, take 1/4 cup of sesame seeds and sprinkle those over the top of the mushrooms. Then shake the baking dish to get the mushrooms rolling around in the seeds to again coat them well. Place that in the oven to roast for around 40 minutes and meanwhile cook your rice. I cook a cup of brown rice in 2 cups of vegetable stock just to give it more flavour for around 25 minutes. Halfway through, turn the mushrooms gently so that they cook evenly. And then once the rice is cooked, remove it from the heat and drain excess liquid if there's any remaining. Plate up the rice and then remove the miso sesame roasted mushrooms from the oven. Place them on top of the bed of rice and then add a splash of boiling water to what's left in the bottom of the baking dish. Give it a little stir around and then use that as an extra miso brothy kind of sauce over the mushrooms and rice. To finish it off, top it with some chopped spring onion, some sliced fresh chilli, some chopped fresh coriander and a wedge of lime on the side to squeeze over it. I've been meaning to share this recipe for a while, and the first time I made it I couldn't believe how quick and easy it came together, so I thought it would be a good one to share for this video. There's so many flavours and textures yet so little ingredients, but of course if you wanted to you could add more veg in with the mushrooms too. Broccoli would be really great. All of that extra miso sauce that soaks through to the rice is so delicious and it's just such a great simple dish. The next recipe is a sun-dried tomato pesto spaghetti. First, fill a pan with boiling water and a pinch of salt. Add in your spaghetti and allow it to cook until al dente, around 8 minutes. Meanwhile, make the sun-dried tomato pesto by adding 1/2 cup of sun-dried tomatoes to a food processor, along with 2 tablespoons of oil from the sun-dried tomato jar, half a packed cup of fresh basil, the juice of half a lemon, 2 cloves of garlic, 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of pine nuts and some salt. Then blend that together well until it forms a smooth pesto sauce. Once the spaghetti is cooked, drain it off and then add it back to the pan and then add in the pesto. Stir the pesto through the spaghetti so that it's well coated. Serve that up and then garnish with some fresh basil on the top. Spaghetti is one of my go-tos for a quick and easy meal. In fact, any pasta dish really. You can literally just throw something together to make a simple sauce. Sun-dried tomato pesto used to be one of my favourites. Obviously a lot of pre-made ones contain dairy, but it is so easy to make your own. And trust me, it always tastes so much better anyway. Next recipe is for a sweet and sticky noodle stir fry. Start by heating a teaspoon of coconut oil in a large pan or wok. Then roughly slice 1 white onion and add that into the pan. Then mince 3 cloves of garlic, add that into and fry everything off for a few minutes. Next, slice up 2 carrots and add those in. Then slice up a red pepper, add that into. Trim a small head of broccoli and add that to the pan. And then finally half 300 grams of button mushrooms and add those to the pan too. Turn everything through well and leave that to fry off whilst making the sweet and sticky sauce. For this, add 5 tablespoons of maple syrup or coconut honey. I used Coconut Merchant's coconut honey. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. I used Coconut Merchant's savoury sauce. a tablespoon of sesame oil, 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds, 2 teaspoons of 5-spice, 1 teaspoon of crushed chili flakes, a thumb-sized piece of grated fresh ginger, and the juice of half a lime into a bowl and whisk them together. Add the sauce into the pan and turn it through well to coat all of the veggies in it. And then over in a separate pan, boil up some water and add in your noodles. I like using whole wheat noodles for this dish. And after a few minutes, once they're cooked, drain them off and then add them into the stir-fried vegetables. Turn it through once more before then serving it up with some raw cashew nuts sprinkled over the top, as well as some fresh chopped coriander. If you want to make this dish even lazier, then you could always use some frozen vegetables to save chopping all of the fresh veggies. And also, instead of mixing all of the sauce ingredients together in a bowl, you could just throw them into the pan one at a time and mix it all together in there. All in all, this takes less than 30 minutes, but it looks and tastes as if so much work has gone into it. And as with a lot of dishes, it can just be all about the toppings that make it. Some chopped spring onions, some chopped chilli, or even if you wanted to toast the cashew nuts to add more flavour, these would all be great to garnish the dish with too. The last recipe is gnocchi in tomato and spinach sauce. For this, first add some boiling water to a large pan with a pinch of salt. Next, take your gnocchi. I use 1 pack per person as I don't find it's enough otherwise. This one is a potato and quinoa gnocchi and it's vegan. Add that into the pan. It only takes a couple of minutes to cook, so once the gnocchi starts to float to the surface, remove them with a slotted spoon and set them aside with a drizzle of olive oil turned through. Drain away the water and then to that same pan add in 1 teaspoon of oil, then mince 2 cloves of garlic, add that in next and fry it off for a few minutes. Next, add in a teaspoon of crushed chili flakes and turn those through before then adding in a 90-gram bag of fresh spinach. Boil that down until all of the water from it is evaporated. Then add in 2 cups of passata. I use a garlic and herb passata. Stir that in and then add in 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast and season with some salt and black pepper. Give it all a good stir through and then add the cooked gnocchi back into the pan and turn it through the sauce really well. Serve that hot with some vegan cheese on top if you like, or what I like to do is to crush some pine nuts with a pestle and mortar and sprinkle it over the top. It just adds a lot more flavour and texture. And you could also finish with some fresh basil as well. Gnocchi is another great option for a quick and easy, lazy meal. It's only really the sauce here that you need to put together. And again, any regular pasta sauce could work with this. Pesto would be really great as well. Gnocchi can be made with milk and egg, so just make sure the one you're using is vegan friendly by checking the ingredients on the packet. I love the quinoa one that I used here, so I will link to that down below. And that's it for my lazy vegan meal ideas. I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, all of the recipes are written up in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!